like one of the attractive things about the drain business, it's high margin.
Most people I talk to in lining want to be this premium option to digging, very expensive. And I decided I wanted to be extremely high volume at a good midpoint price point. So they choose us because they shop us and we're cheaper and we blow them away with our team and technology.
How much of it is because you think other people aren't doing lining?
Most of our largest competitors, they're 80% HVAC businesses. They're actually shrinking and cutting sewers while we're growing at it.
God, that's what it's like to only be plumbing.
Yeah, that's what it's like to not have seasonality. The sales process is very complicated because we're showing up to people's houses and 30% of the time we turn that into a $13,000 sale.
What happens the other 60?
It's either we sell a liner or we get nothing.
Welcome back to Owned and Operated. I'm your host, John Wilson. Today I'm on site with my good friend, Aizik Zimerman, the owner of J.Blanton Plumbing in Chicago. Welcome to the show, and thanks for having me out.
Yeah, it's fun to have you here. I texted this to you yesterday, but it's very surreal because I started in the industry and first learned about it by shadowing you and seeing your operation, and now having you here and this event you're doing is pretty cool.
Yeah, we have, I think we're at like 52 registered people that are going to come out. Yeah. We'll see how many show up, but 52 registered people coming out, touring the place, having lunch, doing a shop tour, and having a roundtable discussion. So this should be pretty interesting. The other ones we've done have been like 20-ish, so big group. This should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see who comes and where they're from. So
yeah,
and we did a little pre-dinner yesterday, and that was good.
Yeah,
had some out-of-town people come in, so it was very fun.
Yeah, awesome. We did an episode, I mean, was it a year ago?
Probably like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the story, so we can link to that in the show notes, so check that out if you're listening. But today what we're going to talk about is, and I guess we can do like a rehash. I'm going to summarize it and you can add some flavor, but you bought a business in 21 or 22?
End of 22.
Yeah, a $6 million plumbing company, Jay Blanton, you kept the name. And so at the end of 22, $6 million, and now you're on a run rate for 30, but what are you going to finish 25 at?
We'll finish 25 at 25 million, run rate 30 million of revenue right now.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, a lot of crazy growth. I think the last episode we focused a lot on like GMBs and like some really like tactical marketing stuff, which is awesome. Today, what we wanted to talk about was like the last year, basically, since we talked last. Because you guys structurally changed the business. Drains took a way bigger step forward. You guys made huge investments, like $1 million probably, into lining and jetting and like growing the drain side of the business. So that's what we're going to focus on today.
So last year we did 15. We'll close this year at about $25, $30 million run rate.
Yeah.
Big part of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 15
that's
15 to 30.
So is it 100%? Like, if I look at Service Titan, is it going to be like, did 1 month stand out, or we're like really like 60 to 70? Like,
no, it's like 70 every month, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
I mean, there's some like, nothing really declines. It'll like step, go up, step, go up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty nice looking revenue chart when you look at it.
I glanced at it. I glanced at it earlier. I was like, God, that's what it's like to only be plumbing.
Yeah, that's what it's like to not have seasonality.
Yeah.
The only seasons we have are good seasons.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, pretty much doubled in the last year. And a huge part of that was the drain business. And so, I mean, you know this, like you've grown an immense amount too, like to constantly find what's the next avenue, like what's going to get me 5 million, 10 million of revenue.
Yeah.
And so for us this last year, it's been a lot of our sewer business and really trying to find like a pocket of the industry that we feel like was differentiated. And so for us, most companies in our industry, very HVAC heavy. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing. Secondly, plumbing. And a lot of even these, $100 to $200 million companies have very small sewer divisions. Like I can even think of two roughly nearly $200 million businesses in Chicago that have, maybe they do $5 million of sewers, like very small.
Yeah.
And that's about half our business now.
Yeah.
And so kind of organically through like people we hired and then kind of just the success of the business has continued to grow. And then the big thing that we made a big investment into is lining. So trenchless pipe replacement for your sewer. And so we went really heavy on technology for this. So we invested in these like UV curing setups. We have 3 trailers now, and actually nearly going to order our 4th. And each rig's, close to $350,000 all in. So we've made about million of investment the last year and a half so that we can do these jobs faster, more cost efficient, pass on the savings to the consumer. And so customers are able to basically replace their entire sewer trenchless without having to dig for $12,500, $13,000, whereas digging it would cost $50,000 and make World War II in their yard.
Yeah.
And so kind of like built this like really interesting connection flywheel between like the product and service, which is trenchless lining.
Yeah.
The team that we have that focuses in on it. We could talk about, we have this whole like setup of the team of like how we do the install coordination, prep crews that go out and prep the sewers, then the lining crews that come in. And then what we've really connected it to now is marketing and to make it scalable.
Tight deadlines, breakdowns, last minute jobs, that is just the life in the trades. And that's why we trust WeSupplyTrades.com. They're family owned, and with nearly a century in business, they stock thousands of HVAC, plumbing, and hydronics parts from brands that you already use. They're shipped fast and even same day if you order by 3:30 Eastern. With a free pro membership, you'll get better pricing, free shipping over $99, and real experts who actually know the field. Get 20% off your first order with the code OWNED20 at the link below. We Supply Trades, finally a supplier who actually gets it.
But yeah, so obviously like the biggest thing that people always have problems with or always think about is leads. Like, okay, sewers, this sounds sexy, even though it's, it's kind of dirty. It's like,
It does sound pretty sexy.
it's sexy. I mean, it's big, your replacements, you're talking $12,000 to $20,000 sale.
Yeah.
60+% gross margin.
Yeah.
Very, very lucrative. And, but the thing is leads. Okay, how do I get these leads?
Yeah.
We've talked a bit about this, the traditional industry way. And, we're both a member of Nexstar.
Yep.
And, whether it's Nexstar or just best practices, like, okay, advertise drain cleaning calls, do the drain cleaning, flip that to a salesman. And we very much like turned that on its head in that we don't have drain cleaners. We market essentially like camera inspections and like unclogs. So we have this promotion called $93 unclogs for dogs. So $93 camera inspection, a sewer unclog, and we donate 10 pounds of dog food. That's the dog part.
Yeah.
But we send, so these calls come in and they
the 93 the 93 are free, I think is what that promo is usually called. Is that sort of like, we're obviously adapting it, but just to break it down, there's a 93 or free. This is the way the industry does it. So $93, we will unclog up to 25 feet or something like that, or like you don't pay anything. And obviously very similar to HVAC, the whole purpose is to go in and offer options to make it not $93. Like HVAC is like a $89 tune-up, drains is $93 unclog. So it's sort of taking that.
Yeah, it's very similar to that starting point. But where the sales process massively flips is the industry norm is run that promotion, send a drain tech who tends to be very junior, like it's an entry-level role, so not a skilled salesperson. Go there, try to unclog it. If it's a main line, a properly functioning sewer shouldn't back up. So the principle of it is that if they're backing up and they're calling you for this, then there's something that needs to be repaired. So go there, camera it, say, hey, we need to get someone here to offer you long-term options. And then you have this flipping process where you then bring in the salesman with a camera. So most businesses running it, their initial drain tech has no camera, no way of visualizing it. They flip it to the sales guy. We don't run that model, so it's where it really deviates. We send somebody directly to that $93 call. We directly send a salesman with a camera or a diagnostic technician, if we want to call it that. And so we right away run that lead with the salesman and try to sell it. And our reasoning for that, and it's working very well, is that we view these as the most important calls. We don't want to have a flipping process where we risk that the most untrained people in the business are taking this golden goose egg and needing to properly transport it. And secondly, I think that consumers are not so silly. And so it's very easy for them to see through this process of needing to bring in a salesman and have this flip. So I think it kind of creates even more doubt in people's minds.
Yeah.
So we send somebody, again, this is very different. We don't really use rodding or unclogging machines or whatever terminology you use in your market. We call it rodding. We just send someone with a camera there and do a diagnostic and see what's going on. And then we tie that into our lining process where now we can show them on the camera and offer them a solution as preventative liner that's very cost effective. And so when consumers weigh it, and a lot of them, like we target in areas that are older homes, a lot of them have done repairs.
Yeah.
And so when they see that they've done a previous repair for 6,000 for 5 feet of line, and we can fix all 70 feet for 13,000, and they see the visual and see that the sewer is degrading, it like actually tees up a really nice thing for the customer where it truly does save the customer money. It's powerful for them. And so we go to these marketed leads, and we're closing them at 25 to 30% where we're selling replacements. And so the main way we get these leads is we mail
the replacements being the lining.
the liner, yeah.
And I think I'm going to hit this really quick. I'm curious if it's different in other markets. Sounds like lining is the low cost option. And I think that's important to like hit because in almost every other business, it's not.
And I think that is how it's supposed to be here. We just we just didn't do that. Like again, like yeah, most people we talk to are like, hey, you should charge more for lining than digging because it's
I think the idea is
trenchless.
it's the premium option, it's trenchless, you
Yeah.
don't have to touch your garden. So there's like the cost of not having to ruin your yard and like replant it, which like there's hard and soft
Absolutely.
costs to that. So I think that's the mentality of the industry.
You're right.
is, hey, if I ruin your yard, it should be cheaper than not ruining your yard.
And that makes so much sense when you think about it that way. We just, for whatever reason, flipped it. Like I just had this idea that what would be a more powerful sales system would be to flip this. And if I can do these
I think it
jobs-
makes sense. Like you're coming in at a cheaper price and like as long
And
as
not
margin's
digging it-
acceptable. Yeah.
Yeah, and our margin on these are 65%, 62, 65%. They're very good because material cost is very low on them.
Yeah.
Our technology allows it to be very fast.
Yeah.
So we're doing it in a very fast time frame. And so margins are really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer for the customer. And that's why I think like this like beautiful sales system of like marketing meets the sales system.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to a lot of people.
Well, meets appropriate price. Because I do want to hit like the price part of it. So one of the benefits of excavation or drains in general, like one of the attractive things about the drain business, it's high margin. So like our drain business is our most profitable business unit. I think it's like 68 to 72 like gross margin a month, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Excavation's high and lining's high. There's hard cost with lining of some amount per foot. I don't really know what it is.
Let's say 20
Like for the materials.
for the material. Yeah.
All right, so $20 a foot. And so the way most people think about it is there's like maybe they sell that for what 200? Like what do you sell per foot?
200, but with membership you end up getting down to like about 180. So the material is about 10%.
Okay, that still feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What have you when you've talked to other people? Like I just want to unpack pricing a little bit because I think it's interesting. When you've talked to other people that are doing lining, are like what are they at? 200, 300, 400 a foot?
Yeah, it's a great question. We are not only are we like technically the best with the best equipment, but we're one of the cheapest. And I think we're like the last 2 years, I think we're dragging down the market, which people probably hate. But when we started a year and a half, 2 years ago, other premium people I would talk to were $270, $300 a foot.
Yeah.
And so we came in, I mean, this is kind of crazy and we've come up. We were at one point early on at like 120, 130 a foot.
Yes, I remember you saying.
Yeah, we were crazy low and we've steadily actually like, I think we were undervaluing ourselves.
So that would be 20% materials.
Yeah.
Which still is not bad.
No, you're still clocking a 50+% gross margin.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you have an incredible amount of price you can play with.
Yeah.
And still make a very high margin because the material is not expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The labor, like we now have these teams on commission anyway. The labor is relatively fixed on a percentage basis.
Yeah.
And we hit our sales team for discounts and expensive financing and stuff like that, so they can drop their commission. But no, it still works out even at a 20% material rate, so it still is very profitable. So yeah, and I go to like Nexar conferences, I talk to people, and most people I talk to in lining want to be this premium option to digging, very expensive and low volume. And I decided I wanted to be extremely high volume at a good midpoint price point. So even when people shop us, they choose us because they shop us and we're cheaper and we blow them away with our team and technology. It's way better.
Yeah.
So it creates this like super scalable business model. Like one thing that me and my team nerd out on is like a lot of our leads now, we become very big on direct mail. So direct mail is about 25% of my leads now. And that's where most of these sewer leads come from, is these, we send mail. I think this month we're sending close to 100,000 pieces of mail. And we want to triple that to 300,000. Our limiting factor is sales guys right now. And we're getting about a 9 times ROAS on our mail. It's very strong.
How much of it is because you think other people aren't doing lining?
So I think that, again, it's very interesting, and I think there's like a confluence of factors in the industry. Most of our largest competitors, the most capitalized, biggest companies, who are some are even bigger than us, they're 80% HVAC businesses,
Yeah.
70% HVAC businesses. So all their efforts going on HVAC. So do they want to drop millions of dollars in equipment for lining when it's a tiny part of their business? They're actually shrinking and cutting sewers while we're
Yeah.
growing at it.
Yeah.
So these capitalized people, the best people in the industry, are not even wanting to do it. If you're very small, like you can't really afford to do it. And then you have to like take a mix of factors of like, you've got to have the marketing, you've got to have the sales process, and you've got to be able to do the operational part. Like it's not an easy process. Like it's operationally very complex. Like you saw the trailer. I mean, it's a 22-foot trailer, looks like Breaking Bad, has a ton of equipment on it. Like you got to have a very good install team you can trust. You got to train the heck out of them. The sales process is very complicated because we're showing up to people's houses. They think we're going to unclog the sewer for $93. And 30% of the time, we turn that into a $13,000 sale.
What happens the other 60 or 70? Are you walking out with absolutely nothing, or is it like a jet?
No, zero. So our whole process, and I believe this is the right thing for the consumer. I said at the beginning of this conversation.
Did you ever walk away with 93? Or is literally
I
zero?
hope not. I mean, sometimes they do, but my preference is please do not charge $93.
Yeah.
Like, do not charge anything. It's either we sell a liner or we get nothing. Because, and this is what makes the process work, and our best people have this like embedded in their DNA.
Yeah.
Which is, if someone has a sewer problem, any sort of cleaning or Band-Aid solution is wasting money. It's truly like they're going to continue to have issues. A properly functioning sewer shouldn't have issues. And most of the sewers here are old clay pipe. It doesn't get better, it gets worse. And so eventually it gets to the point where it can't be lined, you have to dig it. Instead of $200 a foot for lining, digging is $1,000 a foot and disruptive. And so when you tee it up, it's like, it's kind of an urgent situation. Like, we don't know when this pipe's going to fail. So do you want to gamble with spending more? Or you want to just fix it now and have less headaches? So if you really internalize that like cleaning the pipe or waiting is bad because you're wasting money, you're paying interest to the problem, then you go in the mindset that like either do nothing or line it. And so when we do our sales process, we're educating the customer, like there's no such thing as cleaning a pipe. If there's roots in a pipe and you rot it, you're just pulling the roots through the cracks. Like, what's that going to do to a clay sewer? It's not good. If you hydrojet it, better, but there's still holes there. Roots are going to grow right back in. And all you're doing is destabilizing the pipe more. So your most cost-effective thing as a customer truly is just to line it, and line it before it gets to the point. Because once the pipe sags too much or cracks too much, doesn't have a shape, we can't line it anymore. It's like a cancer. It's spread too much. And so the sales process during the camera inspection is 2 hours of educating that customer on the trade-offs of waiting, why cleaning doesn't do anything. And so it's almost by the end of that process, it's like kind of insane to sell somebody a rotting or a jetting, because you just spend 2 hours telling them that it's a waste of money. And we tell people, I don't even want your $93. Like, I don't care about your $93. Like, I'm here to help you. And so if you don't want to like line your sewer, don't give me $93. So I coach the guys, don't charge $93. Don't show them the cost of cleaning of a jetting so they can see it as a price comparison, but don't spend $2,500 cleaning the sewer when you can spend $13,000 fixing it forever. And so much of the industry, even our customers, have been programmed to maintain their sewer every year. So we go to all these customers in these 100-year-old houses, and they're being, what I think is scammed by companies in the industry, charging them $500, $1,000 a year to just come and fake clean the pipe every year. And then, it's not cleanable anymore, $7,000 spot repair. And that's how the industry is programmed to. That's how every sewer company operates, pretty much. So we've kind of flipped this whole model in the way we talk to customers.
How do you handle what I think is probably like an obvious problem? We're saying we're coming out to do a $93 thing, and we're basically just not. So like, there's the potential for reputational harm. Like, how do you handle that? Because I would assume that is a lot of pushback. Like, if I listen to like craft recordings or whatever, I'm assuming that would come up. So how?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. You'd be surprised. It's maybe 2% of the calls we get a complaint about. It's very low. Because again, like if you go through this process from a point of like empathy with the customer, like first of all, like it's free. I don't want your $93. Like, this is free. You're not spending any money. I'm going to educate you for 2 hours, and it's going to be very educational, and you're going to get so much value out of learning. Like, people are are, and they come out of it, they understand like, okay, I do have a problem. Like you do have a problem.
Mhm.
They didn't charge me a dime. And now I have a consideration, like, do I want to make this preventive investment or not?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think like the value we do in the 2-hour process way overcompensates the $0 we're charging them. It's just their time.
Yeah.
So it's not that we've had a couple of those, like I said, maybe 2%. If someone's really adamant about rotting it and it's safe to rot it, we'll send we have 1 or 2 people that we can send that will go do the rotting. But truthfully, when you do the camera inspection, a lot of these pipes, you really honestly should not rot. Like you can actually cause damage, blow out these pipes, make them more fragile.
Mm-hmm.
So we also tell people that, like, you see this gigantic hole in the side of this. Like, do you want me to take this metal pulling, spinning thing and like put this through this right now?
Mm-hmm.
And like, if you do, that's like, we'll do it. But if it breaks, like, we're not responsible for that.
Yeah. This feels, I was thinking about the excavation versus lining and like how to approach price. It feels, in a good way, like 1-day bath style.
Mm-hmm.
Just as far as I'm like, everyone's trying to aim for this premium thing. But like at the end of the day, it's bath fitter. Like we're putting a tub over a tub.
Right.
We're putting a pipe inside a pipe.
Right.
So it makes sense that a full bath, like, so the consumer's already trained that like, okay, putting a tub over a tub should be cheaper than a full bath replacement.
Mm-hmm.
It just should be.
Yeah.
And that feels like this in a good way, I think, because we've already been sort of like trained to do exactly that.
Yeah, I agree with that point you're making. I think the biggest headwind is like what I think the industry, I mentioned it a second ago, what I think the industry has done in like a bullshit way to consumers, a negative way to consumers, which is like blindly clean this and pay this company a $500 to $1,000
Yeah,
yearly.
that's definitely ridiculous. Like we bought people's, like, we bought a couple drain businesses, and they were like, yeah, it's $200 a year. It's like passive income, and I'm like, that's really weird. Like, why don't you just like offer them a replacement?
Yeah, and for
And then
$200,
people were like,
they're not
oh, I
even
didn't
trying.
even know that we could replace this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a kind of a silly. Yeah, it was kind of silly.
And it's half-assed. Like they're not even like, a lot of them are not even cameraing it. So they're taking $700 from you, half-assing the cleaning. And if you were to camera it right after the cleaning, like almost nothing's been done.
Yeah.
Because the prices they're charging, like to actually clean it carefully and fully, you could spend 6 hours cleaning a sewer.
Yeah.
And so you're charging somebody $400 or $500 for 6 hours of work. Like, it doesn't actually make sense.
Yeah.
So it's actually like the whole industry operates in a way that I think is less ethical than what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah. So how often are you guys jetting right now? So like, well, here, let's unpack the drain industry really quick, or like the way that it's usually going to work. So there is like, you call it rotting, we call it snaking or drilling, but like you're going to use a metal coiled machine, and it's going to like wrap around inside the sewer. So that's probably like the lowest brow option. The next like option is jetting. So someone's going to come in and it's like a
Pressure washer.
super high powered pressure washer. Yeah. And it's going to blow out the issue. Then the next is like spot replacement. So like, hey, this is exactly where the issue is. We're going to solve this problem. And then finally full replacement. So that's like the layers of drain. So how many, like, are you guys frequently jetting? Are you frequently doing any? Yeah. What are you doing on the maintenance side, I guess? Non-replacement. How often does that happen?
Yeah, so if we go to a call where a customer has a sewer issue or just wants us to like do a camera inspection or do the $93, we do the camera inspection. Our options will typically be, we'll show somebody what it would cost to, we're not going to give you a rotting option. Like, we don't believe in it. If you really want us to, we'll do it, but like it's not the right thing to do. So we'll start with a jetting or an advanced cleaning. Like, you could do some descaling stuff, but we'll just say jetting. So we'll start with a $2,500 option. Then we'll show you what a spot repair to dig would cost. And it could be an actual spot repair, or we'll call it a theoretical spot repair. And they'll say that's $8,000. And that covers 5 feet of pipe replacement. So we could do a cleaning of this for $2,500. We can replace 5 feet for $8,000. Or we can replace 60 feet trenchless for $13,000.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, if you ever have to dig, if you're responsible for the street part, the tap where it connects to the city, and you ever have to dig that, it's $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is your line, your sewer line. It's 70 feet, whatever it is. Here are all the parts that are compromised, and like a cancer, they're going out. So you want to spend $2,500 to clean this, which is temporary. Every 5 foot section you have to dig is $8,000. But if it's in the street, which happens all the time to people, now you're out $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
Or once and for all for $13,000, do you want to just get this done right now? And so we tee up kind of this like gambling math equation for people. Like, do you want to gamble on $2,500? Do you want to gamble on $20,000?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want peace of mind for $13,000? Because, and then
paying interest with the problem is a good way to...
Paying interest the problem, paying a tax. A lot of people are like, oh, I might sell my home. Well, guess what? In the state of Illinois, you have to disclose.
Oh yeah, that's
issues.
become like a thing that's become a huge thing in Cleveland. It's kind of ridiculous.
What?
Like ridiculous in sewers.
Yeah.
It went from like I feel like it's kind of the new thing, to be honest. Like I remember 10 years ago, it was radon. Like everything was fucking radon this, radon that.
Yeah.
And like all the radon companies are shut down now. And so like maybe we have to be careful with drains, but like it is definitely sewers. I don't think they require cameras, but I think it's not far off that you will have to camera every single time. Home inspections at this point always include
home inspectors are including it.
Yep.
Buyers are smart about it. Agents are smart about it.
$20,000. I mean, it's a car. Like it's literally a car. It's an HVAC system.
Yeah. It's a huge part of the inspection now.
Yeah.
If you as a homeowner have had issues, it's on the seller disclosure form for your house.
Yeah.
You have to disclose it. So we tell people is, when you go to sell this house, what do you think that's going to do to the value? And we actually see this. Like you're gonna get penalized at the negotiation table.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get penalized for a bigger amount.
Yeah.
So again, like, do you want to gamble with that?
Yeah.
So you can kind of just like circle the wagons on this wholesale system.
Yeah.
Where like the smartest thing to do is just to align it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have all kinds of financing options, term loans.
Yep.
No interest, no payment, promo loans.
Yep.
That we can get it down to, $170 a month. And so it's it's kind of a no-brainer.
Are you still running your business on pen and paper or a clunky software? FieldPulse is the top-rated field service management platform that saves you 5 to 10 hours a week. It syncs with QuickBooks, and it puts scheduling, invoicing, and more all in one place. FieldPulse users grow 78% a year on average. Book your demo today using the link in the description and get 15% off an annual plan. FieldPulse, a field service management software for those who need more.
I think so. The sales process, I'm trying to like equate it to a different industry. I like the idea of the bath fitters comparison. Is there another industry that you feel like?
Well, I think about it a lot actually compared to HVAC. Like I've thought a lot about.
A lot of it's HVAC. It's just HVAC's not preventative.
No.
And it's also like
it's harder to tee up kind of like the bad case scenario in HVAC. Like, okay, your thing goes out and then it's cold for a day.
So where it differs with HVAC, like there's a lot of areas, but first off, HVAC is like, depending on your buying power, 30 to 50% of that job is material. So like you just have less wiggle room, which is amazing. Your ability to sort of sell down is limited with HVAC. Like, hey, I've got this system at $20,000 and I have a cheaper system at 12, and if you don't want to replace the whole system, you can do this one at 5 or something. But like that's different than drains, where it might be like, hey, yeah, 25, 10, 2,500. Like you have an option where it's still like a good size something. Whereas like HVAC, you don't usually have that. And just to be like really blunt, there's much less competition. I mean, there is just much less competition. In Cleveland, there's like one other company that lines, maybe 2. So it's just not like a thing versus there's 161 HVAC companies that we compete against.
So similar equipment.
Yeah. Like a box is a box. Now, who installs it? And there's a bunch of value add stuff you can dive into, but at the end of the day, it is a competitive field.
I've thought about more from like even the sales process though, of like, in HVAC, again, similar to most drain businesses, it's normal to send a repair technician, a service technician, and then flip it to a comfort advisor.
And that way, it's very similar to HVAC.
Yes, and so I've thought about it a lot. Like we turned that on its head and we dropped the drain techs.
Yeah.
Like why don't more HVAC companies drop the repair tech, service tech first, and just send their? And I know some do, and like you guys have a modified version.
Well,
of this.
the reality is they'd get sued. Like they would just straight up get sued. Companies have done that, and those are the companies that get like. They're on the news with the attorney general. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few cases. So HVAC.
There's also like a thing around building like the idea of it, and same in the drain business when you send someone, is that repair person, that drain tech, they're building value in that part so that when someone else comes in, there's already been value built. that they're
Yeah.
going out to.
Well, and HVAC is, people are more aware of HVAC. Like HVAC is like a notorious industry. It has a bad rep, and frankly, a well-deserved bad rep.
Right.
Where the consumer knows less, the contractor knows more, and if you go through most like bad reviews of HVAC systems, it's exactly the problem you're just describing. Oh, all they did was come out and try to sell me a system.
Yeah.
Like the Reddits, you know, the next door conversations, the Facebook groups, it's all just that. Whereas drains doesn't have the same perception. Whereas like with HVAC, like if I think of like the hyper awareness of someone, if someone's walking in with HVAC, a consumer is like a 15 out of 10 hyper aware.
Yeah.
They're going to get multiple bids because they don't trust. There's zero industry trust in HVAC. And again, some of it's well deserved because some like people maybe like did wrong stuff. I don't know. Whereas for drains, that's just not a thing. Like it's just absolutely not a thing at all. Like there's trust walking in. There's a lot more trust walking in. So I don't know, but yeah, that part's very different.
Yeah,
Part's
no,
very
for sure,
different.
that's different. Yeah.
Yeah. One of our big anecdotes this year, I think most people are seeing it, but like it used to be that most HVAC companies, like it's the same process where like you have marketed leads, but you also have tech flip leads. And tech flip leads are like the easy ones. Like you have higher close rates, usually a better average ticket. But today in like 2025, the industry's taken on a ton of headwinds because of like a variety of factors. The weather was less cooperative. So we have a friend here and he's in LA, and the weather, it was a very cold summer in LA.
Yeah.
Like it was the summer that didn't start. So that was a big part. There was a horrible refrigeration changeover process. Like they literally ran out of refrigerant, so people couldn't install systems. It was like selling cars with
wild.
no gas. Like
It's wild.
it was crazy. That was like a 60-day period where you couldn't even like, you could sell a $20,000 system and not be able to actually use it, which is obviously a horrible experience. And then the macro of like, hey, if everything's going to finance this, it's basically a car. You know, someone just found out they have to buy a car, like $20,000 system. But debt to income is really high, the consumer's stretched, and financing is like getting declined at a higher and higher rate.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so HVAC is like up against it. And I think that drains is like necessary, less competitive.
Yeah.
It's the same business model where it's like the tech comes in and flips, or in this case doesn't, but like that's normally how it works. The tech comes in and flips. The average ticket is, what's your average liner? Ours is like 12.
12-ish.
Yeah, our average sewer is 12. Our average HVAC job is 11.
Yeah.
And this is like way higher margin. It's
Yeah.
70% margin versus like we fight for every single percentage point on HVAC, like tooth and nail.
Well, and I think the competition is even more or less developed. So like,
Oh yeah,
most HVAC companies are quite intelligent, well-run sales processes, look professional.
Yeah, you're not competing against. This is a joke I think about, and you probably remember this too because you came in like 2022. And there were still people being like, yeah, plumbing HVAC, like you're competing against people with a fax machine.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not who you're fucking competing against.
That's crazy.
You are competing against real, intelligent, funded competitors. Like maybe 10 years ago, like today, that's not remotely the case.
I think that is more true in sewers today. I think it's, they're not fax machines, but they're, again, the industry is run on like people doing more unethical practices and doing just like being more like bootleg. Like it's just more bootleg competition than so I think we're coming in with
it's a dirty business.
It's a dirty business, and I think it's like more hillbilly like competition.
100%.
And so I think we come in like very professional, very transparent, very open with an offer that I think is legitimately better than other people. We tell people, go ahead and get 5 quotes. Like, I guarantee you it's not a better quote than ours. Like, it's not going to beat us on price.
Well, I think the part that is the most interesting is the price part, because you are literally delivering the lowest price probably.
Yeah, lowest value for sure.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. And I mean, it makes sense. Again, a bit like back to the bath fitters thing, like it makes sense. If this is, like, if you're not fully digging it up and replacing it, it should probably cost less. And like the industry has gone the opposite way. And like we've gone the opposite way. The way that we price is the opposite. Like excavation's the cheap one because we're destroying a yard. But
yeah, you can, and like that like makes sense if you think about it. Like, oh, I'm not destroying the yard. so I should be able to charge you more. Like I'm creating more value for you.
Yes.
But for us, we really think we're competing against doing nothing, inertia. It's like,
Yeah.
I need to bring the price down so that I can get you to,
Well, and you can bring the price.
and I
down.
can.
I
bring
think
the
that's
price
probably the most important part is you can bring it.
down. I can, yeah.
Because, you know, versus HVAC, there's a very hard cost inside HVAC, whereas drains, like, you could still clip a 70% gross margin and take a 20% discount.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What else about the sales process do you think sets it apart?
I think we dived like very deep into honestly, into the sales process. I think is different. I think, Again-
You made a point to me the other day that I think I'm just gonna like repeat on here. I'm gonna word it my way, but the sales process is what sets it apart. And the way that you describe it is, oh, it's our Unclogs for dogs program.
yeah.
So then what usually people are gonna hone in on is like, what's the promo?
Yeah. Show me the flyer.
Show me the flyer, show me, which I mean, I do want to see. The language would be interesting. But I'll give you a really good example.
Yeah.
So like we're thinking about, like we have HVAC. And for us in 2025, HVAC was going to be like our big investment. So last year, 2024, HVAC grew like 60%. Like it was crazy.
Wow.
It was tough to keep up with, and like it was like going, and like we really won, and we were so excited about it. And then this year, like HVAC still grew, but like we took market share, we grew, we installed more boxes, like, you know, we did more jobs. So like, okay, we're really happy about that. And we grew like 10% in a year that the industry shrunk 40.
Yeah.
So like,
wow.
fuck yeah. Like, all right, we're on one hand, we're like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the other hand, it's like plumbing grew 25%. We didn't try that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're like, and got it. Like why are we fighting this fight?
Yeah. Pour gasoline on what's burning.
Yeah, yeah. So as we're thinking about this, I've been like over the last month, sort of just like unpacking my thoughts on it, and what was interesting was our sales process is flawed for sewers for a couple reasons. One, I think like cheaper lining makes total sense to me, especially like nailing it to that bath fitters analogy helps. So that helps me. But like I pulled up, we have drains inside our membership program. We have like 2,000 some members, and we ran 80 membership drain tune-ups. We sold one.
Yeah, I
like
got some
that's a
crazy
sales
stats on
process.
that too.
Like
Yeah.
that's a pure, like all that is us doing, like not running a sales process at all. Which was interesting. So I think to your point, like it doesn't really matter what the promo is or if it's in the membership, or like none of that really matters. Like we got 80 leads and we delivered on one. So 79 times we totally whiffed.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So like a huge percentage of our sewer business is not just 93 Unclogs for dogs. It's also our membership program.
Yeah.
Which all my maintenance membership techs have cameras.
Yeah.
Roughly 30-ish% of maintenance visits we go to, the maintenance tech flips it to a senior sewer person.
Yeah.
And 40% of that time we sell a liner.
Yeah.
So our membership program has now gone from, and 5 months ago, we had, similar to what you just said, we had zero coming out of our membership program. Now it's at like a $6 million run rate.
Mm-hmm.
But
we also just weren't even looking. I mean, when I went to go get that data, no one had it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, like, I already know it's going to be bad. Like, if we're not looking at this, like, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
We're not converting like 80% of them.
Yeah.
But it was funny, like 80 calls and we sold one. So 79 times we just like didn't deliver.
Well, I'll call in like another episode you did, like, and we actually do some bathroom modeling also. We won't go there, but
yeah,
you had those Premier Home Pros guys on.
Yeah.
And I've listened to all their stuff quite a bit. And really what they're amazing at, and their whole business is essentially their sales process. Actually, everything is outsourced except this in-home sales process.
Yes.
And
call center. But yeah.
Yeah. But like, they buy a lot of leads,
Yep.
they subcontract labor
Yep.
for install, but they've gone so deep on their sales process and the psychology and honing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think there's something like very cool about like when you do one thing and you obsess over it, like you get very good at it.
Yeah.
And so they, all of their success is through their sales process.
Mm-hmm.
Our sewer success, which is, not as big as theirs, but, growing very rapidly, doing, we're selling probably $20 million a year of just sewers now.
Mm-hmm.
Is this sales process and like how it connects with all the things we talked about that we do And the leads can come in through membership flips.
Yep.
On maintenances, they can come in through mail.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the right sales process, it breaks down. Like, let's take mail, for example. We send 100,000 letters.
Yeah.
Our response rate is only 0.35%
Yeah.
that someone books from the mail. So we send out.
So that's 350.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. And so that's that's how many leads you get that come from all that mail you send. You get that many leads. Those are the $93 Unclogs for Dogs leads.
Yeah.
Now you're walking into those, your salesman, and only 30% of the time they're going to sell something. The rest of the time it's a zero.
Yeah.
Most people in the industry, in sewers, are used to these backed up main lines that you sell an 80% clip.
Yeah.
So now you're taking somebody who's used to selling 80%,
Yeah.
and you're having them to run a sales process that's 30%, and most people can't handle it and they break down.
Yeah.
So we're actually bringing people in. This is another differentiated thing. We're hiring HVAC salesmen and teaching them this sewer process.
Well, yeah. To me, that makes sense.
Because it's not very technically complicated.
Yeah.
And they're used to a more difficult sales process with a lower close rate.
Yeah.
We're
and much
talking-
more competitive. Like,
Much more competitive. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah. This would be like candy.
So so that's our number one source actually, our HVAC salesmen to grow this. And then it's kind of like a math.
Are you
equation.
posting the job as HVAC sales, or like how do you post that to attract?
Or
like in-home home service sales, or
no, we posted as sewer sales, but we write in the top and very big, like, you don't have to have any experience. We cold outreach to HVAC salesmen.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you optimize around the HVAC salesperson?
Message them, like find them on Indeed and send them a message and say, we got something better for you, a little less competitive.
Yeah.
Car salesmen we're looking at too.
Yeah, HVAC, I mean, that would hit right now. Like, there's companies, I mean, HVAC is on like multiple years of just getting like punched in the face.
Yeah.
But like, we have competitors that they just laid off all their salespeople last week. Like, it's kind of wild.
We are interviewing, it is insane how many $1 to $2 million comfort advisors we are interviewing right now who, are in the shitter. They're selling $1 to $2 million a year, but it's on a very small number of leads. Like, we'll interview a $1 to $2 million comfort advisor. They've only ran 100 leads in the last year.
Yeah.
And they're having to discount a lot because it's very competitive, and then their commission gets whacked.
Yep.
So they're selling, $1 to $2 million, but they're getting 4% commission because
Yeah.
their commission's getting whacked down.
Yeah.
And they're running a lead every 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And so it is very attractive. And so we can, we are continuing to hone the sales process. We need to do a better job, obviously, like building out the training program for it and immortalizing it. And the way this developed too was like very organic. Like, we didn't start off with this sales process the way it is. We started off actually just like marketing the Unclogs for Dogs because I heard someone else doing it. I was like, okay, this will be drain leads. Like, we'll do it. And then we had one of our salesmen that kind of like developed all this process by himself, like just to be able to like make something of these calls. He started like toying with some of these things. And I was talking to him a bunch. I'm very in the weeds of my business. So I'm talking to this sewer salesman a lot about like, well, like, what's going on in these calls? Like, what are you doing? What's working? What's not working? And that kind of created this process. And so now when we bring someone new in, we have them do, 1 to 2 weeks of ride-alongs with people to see this process. And so they can, basically build this. And then we send them to a next start class, and we kind of just like build this process around this.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about turning up your marketing in the new year? Now is the time. Our friends at Service Scalers are making it easy. When you sign up before December 31st, they'll cover up to $5,000 in free ad spend to help you launch strong. That includes Google PPC, local service ads, even Facebook ads, all managed by their team. If your home service company is ready to scale, this is the offer for you. Service Scalers handles everything. They handle setup, management, and strategy, so you can stay focused on running the jobs. Don't wait. Head to servicescalers.com and tell them Owned and Operated sent you to get started.
That was a good deep dive on drains, on lining. I feel like we covered pretty much like the whole thing. I like that we got into some of the economics behind it too, because I feel like that's going to be like I think that's going to come up is like, all right, how much does this actually cost? How much to price it for? So I'm just going to repeat that really quick. Like, roughly cost is $20 a foot of material. There's probably $10 a foot or something of labor. And then you can figure out the rest. Like, do you sell it for 100? Do you sell it for 200, 300, whatever? I don't know what we're selling it for. My guess is like 270, 280. But like, I'll look once we're done with this. I'm pretty curious. We have struggled selling, I wouldn't say struggle. We sell more digs than linings. And I think it's because exactly the approach that we're taking. We're not taking the bath fitter approach where like this should be cheaper.
Well, if I can too, I think the other thing people do is they price it higher, and then their team skews excavation because they don't get the right equipment, so it's technically harder. So like to do it in the way we do it, it's because we
With
put so much
CapEx.
money,
Yeah,
we
it's
put so
CapEx,
much CapEx that like we can do the replacements, the line.
Which I think that's
replacements
probably
so
the
quick.
most important thing with drains that like we didn't say.
It's incredibly expensive.
It's incredibly expensive. I mean, even yeah, I mean, excavation, like each team is like $150,000.
For sure.
Like the jet trucks are $150,000. Lining trailers are 200. It's incredibly expensive.
Incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
Essentially, every one of our sewer salesmen almost needs their own $300,000 trailer to support them.
Yeah. It's a shockingly expensive business, but there's equipment financing out there.
Yep.
That probably finances all of it or most of it.
We've started doing that more. Historically, no, we've
Just cash.
just cashed it, but we're financing it more now. Yeah, so we can.
So like probably $3,000 a month or something. Like that's what septic trucks are, or they used to be for us. We haven't bought one in a while, but like it was a $250,000 truck and it's like $3,500 a month.
Yeah, I mean that's a function of like what down payment and duration you want. I think we're doing the ones we're looking at doing are more like financing it for 3 years with a hefty down payment. So, but it just depends what you want to do.
All right, I'm gonna hit the other KPIs real quick because I didn't do that yet. So average tickets roughly 12. We're gonna see 3 to 4 appointments a day per salesperson. We have a 30% close rate, so like 8 jobs a week. That sounds right.
Run, let's say you run 15 and then sell probably 4 maybe.
Okay. So each salesperson, what's that? $2 million is a good. Okay.
I'd say yeah, $2 to $3 million is good.
All right, 180 grand a month, and then we've got an install crew. You said a 1-to-1 ratio, essentially.
A little, maybe it's like 0.7 ratio, but it's
Multi days.
Yeah.
I would assume that you run into a couple multi days.
Yes, I mean we didn't talk about this, but less so because now we've built this whole prep department.
Yes.
That pre goes out and like makes it
that
shorter.
Makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so and then each install crew at 0.7, like they're probably $1.5 million to $2.5 million per crew installed a year.
2 million, and then we're working to stretch that with prep to get them to 3 million.
Yeah. Because that's going to reduce the investment. You will have to bring on less trailers to fulfill the same amount of work. Okay.
So now by prepping, we're trying to get a trailer to do 2 liners in a day. Having someone else go before, because half the process of lining is actually cleansing the sewer so that you.
Oh, it takes hours.
Yeah,
it takes hours.
like
and you have to do the whole Picote and like jet it, and it's an involved process.
So we're having people go out ahead. So we have now prep people that will go out and prep 2 sewers a day. So they'll go out, do the whole process, measure everything, prep it,
cut it.
We're not that far yet, but that's even like a whole future state is could you
Well, I
prefab?
went down to Chris Hoffman's place, and they were prefabbing in office. They had a whole fab room.
Yeah, we're exploring that is our future.
Yeah. That it makes a lot of sense. And they only had 2 like active jets or active
Trailers.
Like lining trailers. So I don't know. It was kind of interesting. I don't remember how much they did a year, but it was like 70% margin. Like it's a machine of a business. This was awesome, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. If people want to connect with you, where can they find you?
LinkedIn, X. Those are my 2 main platforms. I post a decent amount of content, so feel free to follow
Dropping
me.
vids on the linked.
Dropping videos, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for having us out. For those who are listening, if you could do us a favor and subscribe or give us a 5-star review wherever it is you listen to shows. Helps my mom know that people like me. Thank you.